All right, let's get started with something very important. If you've been streaming and not seeing growth, I want this to be very clear. The problem is not that you're boring, untalented, or doing something wrong. Probably. The problem is typically visibility. Most small streamers think growth works like this: you go live, you play a game that you really enjoy, you hang out for a few hours, and eventually people find you. And that's just not how Twitch works. And believing that it does is what keeps people stuck at 0 to a few viewers for months, sometimes years. Twitch is not a discovery platform by any means, okay? It's a ranking platform. When you go live, you're placed underneath thousands of other streamers playing the same game, many of whom already have audiences, established visibility, or years of momentum behind them. So even if you're great, even if you're engaging, even if you're doing everything right, none of that matters if people never see you in the first place. This is where a lot of new streamers internalize the wrong story. They start thinking to themselves, maybe I'm just not entertaining enough. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe everyone else has something I don't. But that's not what's happening, okay? You're not failing, you are just actually invisible. And invisibility is a system problem, not a personal one. This entire masterclass exists to fix that problem. We're going to talk about how people actually find small streamers, how to make it easy for them to come back, and how to build consistency in a way you can maintain, even on your low energy weeks. We're not chasing perfection here. You need to get that into your head, okay? We're not forcing personas. Be yourself. That is who you can consistently be every single day. And we're not pretending this is easy or fast. We're building something sustainable. Let's take a minute to talk about what visibility actually means when I say it. When I say visibility, I don't mean going viral. I don't mean becoming famous. And I don't mean blowing up overnight. Visibility just means this: people have a way to know that you exist before you go live. Okay? Now, for most small streamers, the only place they exist is inside Twitch. And as we've already discussed, Twitch doesn't really show new streams to new people. You get buried under people with many more viewers than you, unless people on purpose switch the filter to lowest to highest. Think about your own behavior for a second. When was the last time you scrolled all the way down a Twitch category looking for someone new? Most people don't. They click who they already know, or who they've already seen somewhere else, heard of, seen a funny clip for, things of that nature. So Twitch reinforces familiarity. They want to show streams to people that they think they will already engage with based on data. Viewers follow paths that they already trust. That's just human nature. They want to go somewhere where they're pretty sure they'll fit in, somewhere where they'll enjoy being, things like that. And new streamers rarely get random discovery. That means that if someone hasn't seen you outside of Twitch, the odds that they'll randomly find you inside of Twitch are extremely low. And that's really no fault of your own, other than you are not posting on other channels. This is where people start to get very overwhelmed and demoralized. They think visibility means turning into a content machine, or making perfect TikToks, or acting like a marketing expert. And that's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm gonna meet you at a place where you are and at a very sustainable place that you can be. Okay, visibility is just a bridge. It's something that connects people who already like the game you play to your stream specifically. This could be a clip someone sees on their phone, a short moment that shows the kind of person you are and the kind of personality that you portray, or something that makes them think, oh, I'd hang out there. You need to think beyond your stream, especially if you're trying to get discovered. Discovery happens in other places, and that drives audiences to your Twitch live stream. I know some of you are hearing me and thinking, oh, well, I don't have the time to be everywhere all at once. And you don't need to be on every single platform, okay? You don't need a content calendar from day one for every single day for the next 2 months, okay? And you definitely don't need perfection. That's what stops a lot of people too. They look at their content, their clip, their short, their long form, whatever it is, and like, oh, I don't think that's good enough. And all of us are our worst critics, okay? Your content is good enough. And until you post it and get some feedback, good or bad, you won't be able to make it incrementally better. Just as a tip, people are going to post awful things to your videos, no matter how funny or good it is, because people out there are lonely and miserable. When that happens, really do your best not to comment on that comment. Just ignore it. You're gonna get bad ones, and that's okay. Ignore those bad boys and keep trucking. At this stage, consistency beats quality every time, and simplicity beats ambition, because something simple means that it's repeatable for you. Okay, you need to get into a habit that is consistently able to be done, even on like a day where you feel like shit. You know what I mean? So when you're starting, one platform is enough. Okay, whether that be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You might perform better in other places than in one place than another, so you want to do some research. For me, my Instagram shorts do pretty well, so I think that's an okay space. One habit is enough to start. Okay, so you're streaming Twitch and maybe you have your VOD, and the habit is that right after your stream, you watch a half an hour amount of your VOD and do some clips. And then one repeatable action, which is tied into that habit. So the habit is that you do X every time after your stream, and Y is that thing that you do, the action. Order matters. Let me say that again. The order of what we do here matters. And here's the order most people get wrong. They focus on engagement first, or community first, or growth hacks first. But none of that works without visibility. Okay, you could be doing all those little tips and tricks right, and still nobody shows up, because everything that you're doing might as well be swept under the rug. Visibility is the first thing that should matter to you. How many eyes do you have on your content? How many people would be in that batch of people to come view you? And everything else builds on top of it. So the more visible that your media is, the more eyes are on that media, the more likely some of those eyes come to your stream. And then in your stream, that's where your engagement tips are going to go. That's where your community Discord is going to matter. And that's where like everything growth related is actually going to come into play. None of that matters until those eyes are in your stream. If you're early in your streaming journey and things feel slow or quiet or discouraging, which they likely will, and honestly, no matter where you are in your journey, some days you're just gonna feel that way. I want you to hear what I'm about to say very clearly. You are not failing. You are not behind. You are just not visible yet, okay? And that yet matters because you will get there. This is something that you can definitely achieve, because we're not talking about hundreds of viewers tomorrow. We're talking about getting, your first 10 consistently, your first 20 consistently, possibly your first 30 consistently. And that is definitely doable. I believe in you, and you should believe in you. Good luck, and hope you enjoyed your first lesson.